Good morning everyone and welcome to my channel English Literature. Today we are going to talk about Philip Sidney's most significant work, Arcadia. We have discussed Philip Sidney and all his works in details in 3 videos I can remember, but I feel his works are so important in the context of Elizabethan poetry and particularly in the context of Elizabethan poetry and in general in English literature, in the history of English literature, that all of his works demand special attention, and I am here to give special attention on them. So today we will talk about Arcadia and then other works of him. Now, Arcadia is the first prose pastoral romance in English. So this is the most significant point to note, that first prose pastoral romance in English is Arcadia, and it sets a style that is called Arcadian style. So upon the name Arcadia, thus name Arcadian. Many later writers imitated this style in their writing. Full title of the text: The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. And who was the Countess of Pembroke? It was Sidney's sister Mary. 1577, Mary, Sidney's younger sister, married Henry Herbert, Earl of Pembroke. They started living at Pembroke's Wiltshire mansion. It is a huge mansion and it is beautiful. In Woolton House, Sidney often visited her. He wrote his long romance Arcadia there. After completing 118,000 words of the old version in 1580, he began a long and intricate revision. So 1577 Mary got married, and then 1580 Sidney completed the first Arcadia. It is called Old Arcadia, and then he began the long and intricate revision. That will be the new Arcadia that he cannot complete. Okay, he died before completing that. Anyway, he did not live to complete it, so new Arcadia was unfinished. 11 years after his death in 1593, his sister published his significant works in a collection called The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. So this was the name was given by his sister, and his sister Mary published this work 11 years after her brother's death. Old version romance in 5 books. Take these points to be noted, and he dedicated this. His muse was obviously his sister Mary. Now the source: chivalric romance in French and Italian, Arthurian legend in English. So Sidney brings or draws his sources from all the other contemporary or ancient romances and literature, from French, from Italy, from France, from Italy, from English. Everywhere he took his resources. Classical influence was also there. Golden Ass, again Ethiopian history, all these were the major sources of or inspiration for his work. Now, Arcadia, what is it deals with? The theme, courtly love. Its pastoral quality reminds us Virgil's Eclogues. We have talked about Virgil's Eclogues, where another Elizabethan poet, Spenser, Shepherd's Calendar. There we have talked about Eclogues and Virgil Eclogues, and how Spenser imitated and followed or got inspired by Virgil's Eclogues. And here for Sidney, it is also a pastoral romance, so it is also true for Sidney. Italian poet and humanist Jacopo Sanzaro, humanistic classic Arcadia was the inspiration for Sidney's Arcadia. So there is too many inspiration, too many sources you have to remember. So this point is very important. Now Philip Sidney. 1583, Sidney married Frances Walsingham. In that year, Sidney was knighted by the Queen. Now, it is his most significant ambitious work by him. It is his magnum opus work. What? Arcadia. Two versions of it were found, Old Arcadia and New Arcadia. Now this point is not related to Arcadia, but anyway, getting married is an important point. New Arcadia. He wrote this and with the purpose to entertain his sister, Mary Herbert, the Countess of Pembroke. Around 1580, Sidney completed the older version, that is Old Arcadia, and it was forgotten and lost in oblivion till in 1908 Barton Dobell, an antiquarian, found his Arcadia that he had bought differs from the other published edition. So, that is the riddle. There was Old Arcadia and there is also New Arcadia. But people were not aware of it till 1908, and the credit goes to Barton Dobell, who has the habit of collecting antique things. And in this way, he found one day that his Arcadia that he had bought first, or that he had collected is quite different from the other work. He found another Arcadia. Then he realized that there is two Arcadias. Now, story of Old Arcadia. Story of Old Arcadia, story of Basilius, Duke of Arcadia, who journeys to the oracle at Delphi and receives a dark foreboding. Oracle of Delphi was taken as very powerful and truthful oracle, so whatever Delphi predicted, all just try to abide that. And Basilius found some dark or negative foreboding from Chaucer, the warning, and he got frightened. His daughters will be kidnapped by undesirable suitors. Such types of warning he got from the oracle at Delphi. So, and there are other also, he will be cuckolded by his wife, his throne will be insured by a foreign state. So all these dark forebodings made him very frightened. And what did he do? He, being frantic with these predicaments, entrusts the Arcadia government to his loyal subject, Philanax. So he entrusts his kingdom to Philanax, and he himself retires to a pastoral cottage with his wife Gynecia and his daughters Pamela and Philosia. So this is the story of Old Arcadia. Even the servant Demetrius joined them. Now this name Pamela is very important because Samuel Richardson adapted the name of his novel Pamela Virtue Rewarded from this name Pamela. Now we will talk about New Arcadia, the most famous version throughout the Renaissance. Longer than the Old Arcadia, more than double, and several episodes with the older version, episode of Rebel Aphelias, and there are several episodes Sidney just included and excluded also. Sidney has not finished this due to his untimely death in 1586. So Sidney died in 1586, and for that reason he could not completed his new revision, that is New Arcadia. The New Arcadia is a romance. It combines pastoral elements with political treachery, kidnapping, battles, abduction. All these themes were in this New Arcadia. It was published in 1593 by Mary Herbert. We have talked it earlier. Now, William Shakespeare, the influence of Arcadia on the later writers, we will discuss. William Shakespeare borrowed from the Arcadia the plot and structure of his famous plays. Which plays? Number one, King Lear, The Winter's Tale, and Hamlet. Even the later dramatists like Samuel Daniel, James Shirley, John Day, Beaumont and Fletcher, all were influenced by this Arcadia. So, Arcadia has a great value for the contemporary writers and also for the writers after Sidney. And as for Elizabethan poetry and as for his English literature and English poetry, it sets a new trend that is called Arcadian trend and pastoral romance. Okay, so today we discuss about Sidney's Arcadia and note down the important points regarding this. And you must take note of the important points: date of publication, two version, who published the second one, and whom it was dedicated, who was the muse, what was the story plot, what was the sources. Next day we will talk about Sidney's another work. Thank you.